No government. I want the tax man coming at your tax man.
And you also have a radio show.
Yeah, I'm on RIP Radio Network on Saturdays from 4 to 6. Stand-up comedian in Old Town, Virginia. I've been doing a couple shows previously in the last 3 months. So, I got to toot my own horn right there.
Yeah,
toot.
So how can people find you on social media?
Right, well, I'm only on Instagram right now and Facebook. So Facebook, my government name is Anthony Babin, which is Babin. Of course, you know how to spell Anthony. And then Instagram is Uncle.Ant. Uncle.Ant. Holla at your brain.
Instagram's all you need now.
Well, yeah, especially.
Can you just link right to Facebook and Twitter and stuff?
She made me feel bad with the Twitter. She's like, where's your Twitter?
Nah, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Twitter's
man.
whack.
I feel like
it's too much chatty pattying going on Twitter.
Look, we need to reach
Chatty patty is good depending on what you're trying
AskCherado.
to promote. Yes.
Exactly. Well, welcome everyone to the show tonight. Tonight we are discussing marriage before carriage.
Carriage before marriage, right?
Carriage before marriage. Or marriage before carriage.
Vice versa.
Carriage before marriage. Yeah.
Marriage, outdated institution. If I ever heard of one.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Right.
Oh,
As
no, that's
always,
not what
we want to hear from you. Hit us up on social media at AskCherado. Call in. We're live 202-75
88607.
Yup.
And we are talking about how can you successfully raise a family without being married? Is it possible in today's day and age? Is it possible to have a successful raising of children without being married?
Is it possible to have a successful marriage? Is that possible?
No, that's
so I think
on-
it is possible to raise children.
But
It's
before we get
sticky.
into that, were you raised in a family, Kevin?
Yes.
Were your parents married?
Married,
your entire
still
life?
married. They just celebrated their 43rd
I saw that.
anniversary.
43 years.
Yeah, shout
wow.
out to
That's what's
them.
up.
That's longer than my lifetime.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Only
So
by
that's
little.
all you
Only
really
by
know,
little.
Kevin, right?
Let me smack you, Kevin.
Yeah. That's
That's
all I've
all
ever
you
seen.
know.
I've
So-
seen other people, from the
But
outside.
that's the closest familial relationship you have to your
Oh, yeah.
parents who have been married.
Yeah.
So, but you're about to brook out and talk about how you
out.
don't really believe in.
Well, I just think because of Instagram now, it's just hard to be
definitely.
married.
Social media.
because,
Instagram
like,
influences your feelings about marriage?
Yeah, because there's just
Apparently so.
there's so many butts that come on.
Butts.
Have you seen them?
Yo, you
Like
don't write
asses,
letters.
but-
Asses.
Yeah, they're just there and they're just always there. And even if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna watch porn this hour, and you decide that you're not gonna do that, then you go on Instagram and their butts everywhere.
Wow. Right
So
there in
wait,
your
what
face.
is so what
I
is
just
the
think,
correlation between IG and porn? I mean,
There's too much going on for people to focus on one person.
but
these
can't
days.
you? But
It's
isn't
the
it the
devil.
same thing with porn? Like if you watch porn, you have lots of options.
Yeah, but my parents who've been married for 43 years,
They didn't watch porn?
I don't know.
do you want to
might
know?
have.
They've seen a few scenes probably, but
Porn with
my
patois?
point is they didn't have all this
Distractions.
distraction that we now have in this new technological age.
But they're still alive, so they still have distractions.
yeah, but
Nah,
they're
they're
so
not hip.
confused. They're so So what is a pork? What is a pork? I can pork. I can pork your mother.
Yes, you can, and you have
I
apparently.
suppose,
Yeah,
so.
it's something else. Sometimes they watch.
Oh, they watch the show.
so we'll see.
Hi, Kevin.
Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah.
Watch that
My
one.
mom watches all the time. Hi, mommy.
My
funny
mom
though.
doesn't watch, so I don't have to worry about any of that.
How about you? Were you raised?
I was not. I was raised by a single mother, so I have
Okay.
a different experience than you do. And statistically, I should not be doing well right now.
You came out golden.
I should be
what?
under
I mean, just with swag,
under the
looks,
gutter right now.
organization, administration, on pointedness.
In the nation. Pass the Dutchie on the left hand side.
Oh man, it's a fun group.
Nah, but myself and I was single black woman, and on top of that, three sisters, man. So I was the only boy. So it was like twice as hard for someone like me growing up because they didn't want me to be gay, which is not right, at that time,
Back
it's
then.
okay there. Back then in the 80s, baby.
Yeah, gay hadn't come out yet.
Exactly. But I tell you what I was lack of, lack of hugs and like touching, yo. Because hugs are very important, yo. Someone hug
you
and
need
say,
a
"Good
hug."
job."
God,
that's very important.
such a good touch.
Nah, seriously on that, and because they were so
real.
on top of me and not being gay, because there was no
So
male
because
figures.
your sisters and your mother were homophobic.
It's just because there was no male figures in the picture, so they didn't know how to,
That's the biggest fear
women
in
don't know
that
how to
situation.
raise a man.
You know what I mean? When there's no other male figures, and the male figure, generally your masculinity is tied to your virility in those situations.
And what I think they didn't know is too much of that was like, I didn't feel love. I used to, when I was in
Wow, that's
elementary and middle school, I did I did talent shows where I did stand up, and they never supported. And honestly, those small things right there can traumatize me. I mean,
Anybody.
exactly. But I don't think they did that to be tough on me as a male figure. That was kind of off. But I'm just saying those kind of things can.
It's
like,
the little things.
yeah, you never know, man.
It's the moments.
Well,
like
I
a
grew up
collection of
like
moments.
I started off in like the whole Cosby situation. Like
Which
I was
Cosby
like,
situation?
Yeah, the first, the second.
shut up.
You mean the Huxtables?
The
Huxtables.
television
Okay, my
show,
bad. I
the
get confused now.
Cosbys. Yes, that was
Confusing now. You
like,
messed it up.
like I had like the nice house and the professional parents and
Yeah,
and like everybody around me. Anthony grew up around me since we known each other since like 7th grade, and like
So he was like Bud.
no, we weren't. No, he wasn't coming over. But I'm just saying the
You didn't
perception.
say his name right. Boo.
The perception amongst everybody, all my peers and people that I knew was like, oh, you have this great life, you live in this big house, everything is great. And then my parents got divorced, and I kind of raised myself from the time I was like in 9th grade to 12th grade. But I still maintained that same image, but I didn't really have my father at home and different things like that, which all affected me naturally. But I think it's really interesting. We all have very different and
funny.
similar dynamics, but different, except for you. You don't.
And skin color.
You have both
If
your
you look at it,
parents.
what
Well, we have.
We like this. We're similar tone.
Y'all
We're
are
similar
brothers.
tones.
I'm right there with y'all.
That's cuz.
I
That's
call
Not-
it cinnamon.
not
Cinnamon.
really.
Yes.
Where's your
But
hand?
no.
I call it synergy.
Racist. She's racist.
No. I just know I'm not cinnamon.
Oh, you stop being light skinned. Stop acting so light skinned.
Cinnamon, yes.
So what's next?
Well, so based on our personal experiences, do you feel, Kevin, for example, that you had a better or worse, or what type of experience do you feel that you had as a child that grew up with having both parents in your household?
Well, I mean, it was.
Comparatively to like other people that you know.
Well, I've seen the movies, so
No, I'm talking about real life situations.
I'm just talking about their situations. People in single parent households. But I mean, mine was like it was amazing all the time.
Oh, and look who's here.
Oh, is he just gonna come in right now mid?
He's not coming.
We're not gonna wait for a break. Just have him just
No, he's
come
not
right in
on
the
in.
screen.
On the ghetto.
Walk in. Do you want a
Black
Saint
stuff,
Ides
black stuff,
special
black
brew?
stuff.
Being all late, black stuff.
Yeah, I do think that I benefited greatly from having a male figure and a female figure in the house growing up. Like, for sure. I got to see how that looked, too, the interaction, how that's supposed to be, how you're supposed to treat a woman, all that important stuff.
Yeah, hands down.
How to deal with things, how you should just sit on the couch and wait instead of being angry with your wife when she's taking forever to get ready. Just wait.
What's the old
Just
folks
have, like, a
saying?
game
You never should
or
go
a-
to sleep angry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really believe that.
And keep music in the house at all times. Like, you can't really beef hard if proper music is playing.
That's not true,
Like
though.
Earth,
It's a
Wind,
good
and
look.
Fire.
Well,
though,
not
but that's
DMX, not DMX. Like,
Yeah, of course.
just like it has to be proper. You dig?
It's like driving, yo. If I'm listening to that hardcore rap and someone
Yeah.
cuts me off, I'm ready to fight, right?
Yeah, you're gonna
But
catch
if I
'em.
got some instrumentals on, Earth, Wind, and Fire, or what have you.
let
It
him pass.
alters
You
your
let him
mood,
yeah,
most
you're like,
definitely.
come on, jerk off.
Yeah.
Come on.
I prefer classical.
For classical?
For
That's
babies,
good for
that's
traffic.
good.
In the
Well, what
house,
about-
that makes it easy. I feel like I'm walking in the Ritz.
Yeah, it does feel good.
Yeah.
What about you, Aunt? Do you feel that growing up in a single mother household has been a pro or a con in terms of how you've been raised as a
I will
man?
honestly say, I grew up in a community neighborhood, like sort of like Jana Lee. I don't know if y'all familiar with Alexandria or what have you, but the neighborhood back in those days, you had someone. The neighborhoods would smack you. Like
Yeah.
a neighbor saw you riding. I was riding my bike in Fort Belvoir or what have you. and then someone was CCing me, she would smack me and then go tell my mom. Then I
Yeah.
get smacked by my mom too.
Oh yeah, that's CPS is on. I mean, like you can't even do that in there. Like
You can't do none
Too
of
many
that
camera
right now.
Or
phones.
someone will call
That's
you
not
for
your
smacking
child.
their child.
That's not your
Exactly.
child.
Right, no
Be
doubt.
someone else pressing charges.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
the mother
yeah.
will press charges because
And
it's
they'll
like,
shame you.
even at school as a
said
teacher,
they'll
like, it's
shame you.
times
Yeah.
when I've had parents be like, why you ain't smack them? And I'm like, wait
Yeah.
a minute. But if I did
Exactly.
smack her, it'd be like, she smacked my child.
Somebody
like,
would write
okay,
an
I'm a
essay
catch
and it would go
22,
viral.
yeah.
Well, you know, when it comes to single parent households and married households, I was in a single parent household, but there was like a male figure who we all ran to. Shout out to John McGaffey, and he had all the. I mean, there were a lot of single moms, but like he had like all the kids look up to him. Like his word was bond, and
That's what I'm
like,
talking
and he would
about
put the
with
hand on you
neighborhood.
too, and
Yeah.
it was whatever. But like I respect him. I was just for Thanksgiving, stopped by the house, chopped it up with him for a while, because that respect remains. So I don't feel like my childhood was void of a male figurehead, even though I was in a single family household.
Well, back to the question, I agree with that. But I had barbershops, like black people barbershops in
Yeah,
the community.
you
where
learn a lot.
You get your
Yeah.
fashion statements,
You
your
could buy
girl
rims there
advice.
sometimes.
You get everything.
movies.
Rims.
And that's what I'm talking about with the community. We're not having that these days.
Nah.
We don't have the community stepping up and actually raising these single black children, because what they're doing now is becoming gay. And I don't have a problem with being gay, but when you don't have a male figure in there, you have
Yeah.
no choice but to
But that's
follow.
not always true.
And they
That's
got
not
apps.
true. I don't agree
And they
with
got
that.
too
Let me
many
say one
apps.
thing, Courtney.
Because the
How
same
about
thing,
this?
somebody could say that about you.
What if? Yeah, you're right. But
But
I
you're
had
not gay.
someone. But because I was out and about with the community.
That's not
That's
why.
not how you not gay. You not gay because you don't like to have sex
You
with
just weren't
dudes.
gay.
It's not gay because the
Like,
activities you chose.
How about this? How about this?
Oh, Anthony.
No,
Oh, we
for
gonna
real,
go
Or
into
listen.
the gay
perhaps
debate?
you were
Real
just
quick.
born
Gay
a certain
debate.
way.
Gay
True.
debate.
Yeah, I do
Gay
agree with
debate.
that. But I want to say, like, imitating the male. Like, for instance, if I have no father figure around, it's all females.
Yeah.
I walked on my tippy toes for a long time. Yo, you could tell.
But that was just to get
But
strong
that
calves.
doesn't
homie.
make- that
He was a
doesn't
traitor.
mean-
Strong-ass
that
calves,
doesn't mean
cuz.
that you- that doesn't
You
mean that
imitate
you-
the female. You don't mean to, but you're imitating walking like your mom. You might have
Well,
your hands
Your
like
character
this.
Well, you know what?
Yes, but that
Their
doesn't mean
joint.
that you actually want to have
Oh,
sex
Lord.
with men.
Because you get teased, right?
Yo.
This is how it goes deeper.
That's
you get
whack.
teased at school. So someone teased you, oh man, look at this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
And someone drills that in your brain, you eventually, man, everyone's saying this, I might as well see what's going on. Now y'all
I don't
can't
agree with
knock
that.
Well, now you know what?
Your stuff.
But you,
I
but you,
do.
but you know
don't
what I
agree.
think. But you know
I
what?
do not agree with his statement.
But this is what I think happens though. I think that as a man, if you're around women a lot, you learn a lot about women, but then you hit the street to learn about men.
And if you're
And so
And
like
on that note, we'll
hold
be
on,
right
this is
back
getting good.
on the AskCherado